The quest for the hand cannon. Imagine, if you will, the world of 1900. The Victorian era is ending, and the Edwardian era is beginning. It is a time of massive steam engines, iron bridges, and heavy industry. In the world of firearms, something new is happening. The revolver, the cowboy gun with the spinning cylinder, is starting to look old-fashioned. Inventors across Europe are racing to build automatic pistols, machines that reload themselves. Most of these early inventors, like the Germans at Mauser or Luger, are building precise, efficient tools with small, fast bullets. But in England, a man named Hugh Gabbett Fairfax has a different idea. He looks at these small European pistols and scoffs. He doesn't want to build a tool. He wants to build a cannon that you can hold in one hand. He creates the Mars automatic pistol. For nearly 80 years, from 1898 until the invention of the famous Desert Eagle in the 1980s, the Mars will hold the title of the most powerful semi-automatic handgun in the world. It is a gun designed with one philosophy: bigger is better. But as we will see, in the world of mechanics, bigger often means broken. A man of ambition, Hugh Gabbett Fairfax, was a British engineer with a vision. He believed that the British soldier needed stopping power. In the colonial wars of the 19th century, British officers often found that small bullets didn't stop a charging enemy. They wanted a bullet that hit like a sledgehammer. Gabbett Fairfax poured his life and his fortune into the Mars. He didn't just design a gun, he designed a whole new type of ammunition to go with it. He was so committed to this project that he eventually went bankrupt in 1903 trying to perfect it. Tragically, his story ends in sadness. After his bankruptcy, he faded into obscurity, and his son was killed in World War I, leaving the Mars as his only surviving legacy. A mechanical nightmare if you look at the Mars pistol, and we can see it in incredible detail in the game world of guns. Gun Disassembly. It looks like something from a Jules Verne science fiction novel. It is enormous. It weighs about 3 pounds, 1.36 kilograms, heavy enough to be a boat anchor. It is over a foot long. To put that in perspective, it is 30% larger than the Colt 1911, the big American pistol used in World War II. But the real madness is on the inside. Most pistols today use a short recoil system, where the barrel moves back a tiny bit to unlock. The Mars uses long recoil. When you fire a Mars, the barrel and the bolt lock together and slide all the way to the back of the gun, a distance of several inches. It's like the barrel of a field artillery piece recoiling. This huge mass of steel slamming backward and forward, right in front of your nose, creates a terrifying sensation for the shooter. This is the part that confuses everyone, even experts. In a normal gun, the magazine pushes the bullet up and the bolt pushes it forward. Simple. The Mars is different. Because the cartridge, the bullet, is so long, the gun has to pull it backward out of the magazine first. Imagine a waiter walking backward, pulling a plate off a table. Once the bullet is pulled out and is floating in midair inside the gun, a mechanical device called a lifter or elevator pops up. It lifts the bullet up to the level of the barrel. Then, the bolt slams forward, pushing the bullet into the chamber. It is a Rube Goldberg machine. It involves claws, springs, and levers doing a complex dance in a fraction of a second. If there is any dirt, mud, or sand in the gun, this delicate elevator jams. It is a marvel of engineering, but a disaster for a soldier. 1,000 foot-pounds. Why did Gabbett Fairfax design such a complicated machine? To handle the ammunition. The Mars fired a proprietary .45 caliber cartridge, the .45 Mars long. A standard .45 ACP bullet, used in the 1911, travels at about 850 feet per second. The Mars bullet traveled at 1,250 feet per second. In terms of energy, the Mars produced nearly 1,000 foot-pounds of force. That is 3 times the power of a modern 9mm pistol. It was a handheld rifle. The bullets were so powerful that the brass cases had to be specially crimped, squeezed, onto the bullet to keep them from falling apart during the violent reloading cycle. Unpleasant and alarming, in 1901, Gabbett Fairfax took his monster to the British War Office. He was sure they would buy it. The trials were extensive, but the results were devastating. The military report is legendary in the history of firearms. The officers acknowledged that the gun was incredibly powerful. It could shoot through 16 wooden planks, while their revolvers could only shoot through 6. But the cost was too high. The report described the recoil as unacceptably large. It wasn't just a kick, it was a violent snap that hurt the shooter's wrist. The muzzle flash, the fire coming out of the barrel, was blinding. The captain in charge of the Naval Gunnery School wrote, "No one who fired once with a pistol wished to shoot again." Another tester called the experience singularly unpleasant and alarming. Imagine trying to sell a car, and the test driver says, "I drove it once, and I was terrified. I never want to get in it again." That was the end of the Mars. The British Army rejected it. A collector's dream, only about 80 Mars pistols were ever made before the company went bankrupt in 1907. Because they are so rare and so strange, they are now incredibly valuable. A single Mars pistol can sell for over $35,000 at auction. For most of us, we will never hold a real one. But thanks to digital preservation in games like World of Guns, Gun Disassembly, we can see the genius of Hugh Gabbett Fairfax. In the game, you can see the elevator lift the bullets. You can see the long recoil barrel slide back. It teaches us that mechanical complexity is beautiful to look at, but sometimes simple is better. The Mars was a failure, but it was a magnificent failure. It was a gun that tried to do too much, too soon. It stands as a monument to the Victorian spirit, bold, heavy, and completely over-engineered.